this brings me to the top 5 supermodels of the 1990s, an era that I know very, very well. Now, the 1990s were a great decade. They were transformative in fashion, marked by a dramatic shift in style. It was really the decade that the supermodels rose, and the blending of high fashion and streetwear. The era was characterised by several influential trends, including grunge, minimalism, and the emergence of haute couture as a powerful force in fashion. Grunge fashion, influenced by the Seattle music scene, introduced a relaxed aesthetic that included flannel shirts, ripped jeans, and combat boots. Designers like Marc Jacobs and Calvin Klein and Ralph Lauren embraced this look, making it mainstream. And at the same time, minimalism emerged as a counterpoint, with sleek silhouettes, neutral colours and understated designs. And these dominated the runway. There were Calvin Klein and Jill Sander were key figures in this movement, emphasising simplicity and elegance. It was an interesting counterpoint to the whole grunge thing. And the rise of the supermodel phenomena transformed the fashion landscapes. Models like Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, Cindy Crawford became true global household names, embodying the glamour and the lure of an entire industry. Their visibility in campaigns, runway shows and magazine covers helped establish them as cultural icons.
Yeah, well, we're not into funny, right? We're not into funny. All we have to do. Naomi, it'll be better if it's take these lives. We need the key. All we have to do. We have to do now is take these lies and make them true.
It was about the women. That's what a supermodel is.
This decade also saw the birth of the heroin chic look, characterised by waif-like figure and edgy, almost androgynous styling, primarily associated with, you know who, Kate Moss. Additionally, the 1990s witnessed the increased influence of hip-hop culture on fashion, with brands like Tommy Hilfiger and FUBU gaining popularity. And this era set the stage for the diverse fashion landscape that would follow in the 2000s and beyond. So as we explore the top female supermodels of the 1990s, I'll highlight their achievements and attributes that solidified their status as true icons of the decade. So, of all the supermodels that emerged in the 1990s, top 5. At number 5, we have Claudia Schiffer.
And I don't like very much either that the fashion trend right now is supposed to be, the women or the girls are supposed to be very, very thin, which could be very dangerous to all the young women and girls that are reading all the fashion magazines and following every fashion trend. So I think it's dangerous because if they copy everything, they might copy to also wanting to be so thin, which can lead into anorexia, and that's very dangerous.
Schiffer was a German supermodel. She rose to fame in the early 1990s and quickly became one of the most recognisable faces in the fashion industry. Known for her classic beauty and statuesque figure, Claudia epitomised the model of the decade. Claudia's career took off when she was discovered at a nightclub in Dusseldorf. She became the face of Chanel and secured campaigns with major brands like Guess, Versace, Dolce & Gabbana. By the mid-1990s, she was one of the highest paid models in the world, gracing the covers of prestigious magazines such as Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. I recall that the Chanel campaign was paying her $15 million a year, which is unheard of before. Her versatility allowed her to transition seamlessly between high fashion and commercial modelling, making her a sought-after figure in the industry. And beyond modelling, Claudia's ventured into acting. She's also worked as a producer, showcasing her multifaceted talents.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm all cancelled. So I'll be filling in today. My name is Claudia.
Yikes.
Her philanthropy, particularly her involvement in various charitable organisations, further highlights her positive influence.
Because of AIDS.
Wouldn't it be great if, for example, all the packaging of all the products that are on the market would be all eco-friendly? What a huge difference that would make. Or if someone would invent clothing that actually didn't need to be washed very much in hot water and at a much lower degree, all the energy you could be saving there.
Claudia Schiffer's enduring legacy and iconic status in the fashion world make her a standout supermodel of the 1990s. At number 4, Christy Turlington.
The people that I'm exposed to by choice, I like a lot, and I think that all the people are very amusing, and I think you're definitely around people from all different places, and it's definitely an education. I think it's very innocent in comparison to the music or movie industry. Oh, definitely. Just from people that I know, I mean, just the people that I see, it's similar, but it's a step down. So, I don't know, it's a funny thing too. I mean, fashion is quite a ridiculous thing in the realm of the whole, the whole picture, but I don't know, people take it very seriously, which I find amusing.
Christy Turlington is a quintessential supermodel of the 1990s. She was one of the Trinity, known for her striking features and demean, elegant presence. With a career that began in the 80s, Christy became one of the most sought-after models of the decade. Christy gained prominence for her work with top designers like Versace, Prada. Her iconic Calvin Klein campaigns, particularly the fragrances like Eternity, helped define the minimalist aesthetic of the decade.
I always see you somewhere. Eternity for men.
Those campaigns, even with their grainy, low-res definition, still strike me as some of the most amazing ads ever made in fashion. She's often celebrated for her timeless beauty and sophistication, which made her a favourite on the runway and editorial shoots.
And in 1993, Christy herself was molded and became the master mannequin at the Met.
The mannequins that are in use at the Costume Institute have always been special. The new ones were modeled on the face of Christy Turlington, who's a timeless face. She has slightly ethnic features, but they're not specifically ethnic, and so they really reflect the standard of beauty of the 1990s.
In addition to a modelling career, Christy is also a dedicated advocate for maternal health through her organisation Every Mother Counts. Her commitment to social issues, along with her success modelling career, made her a respected figure in both fashion and philanthropy.
Christy Turlington and the Great American Smokeout.
In my life, there are two people in my family who've quit smoking. Me and my dad. For me, it took 7 years. Nothing worked. When I finally did quit for good, I knew it was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. My dad, it was different for him. He stopped December 1996. Just 6 months before he died from lung cancer.
Well, that makes an impact.
Pretty powerful. It's just statistics until it happens to somebody you love, isn't it?
It's true.
Christy Turlington's blend of beauty, talent and advocacy solidifies her position as one of the top supermodels of the 1990s. And at number 3, we have Naomi Campbell.
Naomi, I have never, ever started an interview this way. But you know that people call you a bitch.
Yeah?
And you don't mind.
No, I do mind. I think that, for me, a woman that's in control of her work or makes decisions or is very opinionated is called a bitch. And I think that a man, when he's like that, is called nothing. It's fine. But, being a bitch, for me, if that's what people want to think of me as, has protected me in so many ways.
Tell me how.
I've never had any of that stuff where you hear of young girls and guys coming up to them and giving them drugs or, I've never had the sleazy side of what people think there is in modeling. I've never had that because I guess I would put on a look like, don't you come near me.
Naomi, do you think that in 5 years people will still be saying, she's a bitch?
I hope so. I hope they do. I'm going to be remembered for something. I'm going to be remembered for being a bitch, but a hard-working bitch and a loyal bitch.
Now, Naomi Campbell is an icon. She's a legend. She's known for her fierce runway presence, striking beauty, and often controversial antics. And Naomi's impact on the fashion world in the 1990s was profound. Naomi's career began at the age of just 15, and she quickly gained prominence, becoming the first black model on the cover of French Vogue in 1988. And through the 1990s, she walked for top designers like Versace, Chanel, and Givenchy, establishing herself as one of the leading figures in the industry. Her charisma, controversial nature, and confidence on the runway set her apart, making her a favourite among designers and photographers alike. Naomi's collaborations with huge brands like Estee Lauder and her appearance in music videos like Freedom 90 further showcased her versatility. In addition to a modelling career, Naomi's been an outspoken advocate for diversity in fashion, using her platform to address issues of racism and inequality.
Are you essentially accusing the industry that you've done very well in of being racist?
No, I'm saying the act of not choosing models of color is racist. So I'm not saying, we're not calling them racist. We're saying the act is racist. And I'm also saying that they may not intentionally know.
You're the face that launched 1,000 magazine covers. Doesn't your success prove that black models can be extremely successful?
We don't want them to hide behind the aesthetic of when they say, well, the show is going to be this aesthetic this season. We want them just to allow balanced diversity. And yes, I have worked for 27 years, almost 28, and it's very upsetting to me. It's heartbreaking to be sitting here in 2013 even having this interview.
Her philanthropic efforts, including the establishment of Fashion for Relief, a charity that raises money for various causes, highlights her commitment to giving back. Naomi Campbell's enduring influence and iconic status make her a true defining supermodel of the 1990s. And at number 2, Kate Moss.
There are all these women who say that you represent something very bad, that you represent an anti-woman thing because you're little.
There's lots of little people. Why can't, right? Because, they said that about, they're going to say that about anyone. They said that about the big girls, like saying you have to have silicone implants and da-da-da-da-da. Just because you don't look like something, why should you think it's a bad thing?
Kate Moss emerged as a defining figure in the 1990s. She was known for a unique look and effortless style. With her slender frame and striking features, Kate challenged conventional beauty standards, and she became a muse for many designers and photographers.
She pulled such a powerful emotion from me. I just was completely taken by photographing her and loved photographing her.
Kate's career began in 1988, but it skyrocketed in the 1990s when she became the face of Calvin Klein's iconic advertising campaigns. Her collaboration with Calvin Klein, particularly the heroin chic look, redefined beauty standards and influenced fashion trends throughout the decade.
When she was totally wet and her hair was all back and all you could see was the shape of her skull and her cheekbones and her eyes, it was like looking at this incredible primitive beauty.
Obsessed, Calvin Klein.
In addition to her work with Calvin Klein, Kate walked for top designers like Marc Jacobs, Chanel, Versace, becoming a favourite on the runway. Her ability to embody various styles from grunge to bohemian made her a versatile model, and she was featured on countless magazine covers, including Vogue and W, The Face. Kate's influence extended beyond just modelling. She became a cultural icon, known for her relationships with musicians like Johnny Depp, actors like Johnny Depp, and artists. Her collaboration with high street brands such as Topshop made high fashion accessible to the masses.
Is it fun? What was that? You were picking designs from your tattoos for some of the clothes?
For the jeans.
So that's personal.
Yeah, personal type.
Kate Moss's unique style and significant impact on the fashion industry solidify her position as one of the top supermodels of the 1990s. And coming in at number 1 spot is Linda Evangelista.
I work hard. I try and be professional. I'm never late, never miss a plane, never sick, never unhappy, never hate the clothes.
I'll do anything for him. I mean, he had me kissing a chimpanzee. It's just a character that you take in pictures like actors do in films, but you do it for stills. I leave that character behind in the studio.
Linda Evangelista is often hailed as one of the most iconic supermodels of the 1990s, known for her transformative looks and ability to reinvent herself. With her striking features and commanding presence, Linda became a muse for many designers. Linda's career began in the mid-1980s, but it was in the 1990s that this Canadian supermodel became a household name.
I didn't go from rags to riches. I had like a gradual, I came up gradually. I wasn't an overnight star. It took me a few years to get going. I worked every day, but I didn't do genius things right from the beginning. So I went through a lot to get where I am, and I appreciate it.
She was the one that famously declared, "I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day," highlighting her status as a model.
I provide a service, and I mean, the people I'm working for make a hell of a lot more money than I do. My fee is only a very small percentage of what an advertising budget consists of. It's not that high compared to what they have to spend on a campaign, and you should see what they get back. So there.
Linda worked with everybody, especially renowned designers and photographers, names like Gianni Versace, Chanel, Jean-Paul Gaultier, and she became known for her work in fashion campaigns and editorials. Her ability to change her appearance from her hair color to haircut made her a kind of chameleon on the runway and in photo shoots, allowing her to inhabit and embody various aesthetics. Linda was featured on numerous magazine covers and became a symbol of the era's glamour.
I don't know, I changed my hair color and it gets headlines. It's amazing. I didn't lose a client, I didn't lose a job. I don't think people book me for my hair color. I think I can do a lot of the designers and look right in the clothes, from the Japanese to something more young or to something trendy or to something sophisticated and elegant. I feel like I can fit into all of them just by changing my look. You learn from watching your mistakes. That's what happened with my pictures also. I learned never to make that face again or never to wear that makeup again.
Beyond her modelling career, Linda has been an advocate for various causes, including breast cancer awareness. Her influence in the fashion industry and her status as a style icon make her one of the top supermodels of the 1990s. So in conclusion, the 1990s was a great decade. It was a defining decade for the female supermodels, and it was characterised by the emergence of iconic figures who shaped the fashion landscape for all time. The top 5 supermodels of this era: Claudia Schiffer, Christy Turlington, NAOMI Campbell, Kate Moss and Linda Evangelista, each made significant contributions to the industry while embodying the trends and cultural shifts of the time. Their unique attributes and achievements have left a lasting impact on inspiring future generations, solidifying their places as true icons of the modelling world. And as we reflect on this vibrant decade, the influence of these supermodels continues to resonate, shaping the evolution of fashion for years to come.